metropolitan areas are now turning to Wi-Fi for their public service and public safety applications, and also there are significant Wi-Fi based smart grid neighborhood area network installations that are currently available. So, and then finally, the wide range of device types is very important here. As I was indicating, in the smart grid home, for example, it's not enough to just focus on the hot water heaters and the refrigerators. Certainly those are important devices to connect, but devices such as plasma TVs, not only are those going to be major consumers of electricity, something that you would probably want to be able to monitor and control through your smart energy applications, but also important as display devices for the residential consumer to be able to tie into to his own energy usage. So to the extent that you've got technologies that allow those devices to be integrated into the smart energy home, that's an important point. There were a number of Wi-Fi announcements related to Wi-Fi within high-end television sets just at CES this month, or last month. And this is because of the high data rates that is possible within the current generation of Wi-Fi technology, and that keeps going up. Range, that's a pretty obvious thing. With Wi-Fi, whole house coverage is possible. That's not necessarily something that is possible with some of the other wireless technologies that are being discussed as far as the smart grid in the home. The access to the pool pump outdoors, etc. That's where range is a very important issue, and we know those can be very large consumers of energy for certain type of residences. And then obviously, you know, in the outdoor environment, it is possible to get kilometer type distances outdoors with point-to-point Wi-Fi. And the latest generation of Wi-Fi, which is the 802.11n with the MIMO technology, that specifically has significant range improvements over some of the previous generations of Wi-Fi that even further expands the range capability here for the consumer. Bandwidth, this point was made earlier by one of our other speakers here. People tend to think about the smart energy home as being, we're just monitoring a few things, the bandwidth is not much. We can afford to be putting in fairly, you know, technologies that maybe are not too advanced when it comes to the amount of traffic that they can support. I would put forward that would be short-sighted. I think that our experience as in the computer and communications industry is that applications tend to come out that use more and more bandwidth, and it's short-sighted to think that you're going to be always limited to low bandwidth applications. We should probably be planning more for the future here and be putting in technologies that can support higher bandwidths, even if we can't today envision what those applications might be. Power consumptions, some of the devices that we are going to want to include within the smart grid are need to be battery powered or to have low power consumption. This might apply more to things like water and gas meters than the electric infrastructure. I just want to point out that there's a lot of developments going on here within the Wi-Fi industry as far as chips that are focused on being low power consuming chips, low cost chips, specifically targeted at sensor applications. And these are already capable of supporting a greater than 10-year battery life, and that's likely to be increasing as well. And then finally, application support. The range of applications that we think the smart grid is going to be supporting, even within the home, we can't necessarily anticipate right now. I just want to point out Wi-Fi does provide native IP support, so it can support all of the IP applications that we think of. Wi-Fi allows for a very wide range of price performance profiles, so that different types of devices may offer higher performance at lower power, etc. This allows for, again, a wide variety of different device types to be incorporated into the home, all interoperable. And there is a huge commercial investment in Wi-Fi application development. I mean, because of the scale of the Wi-Fi market in general, that means that the companies that are doing Wi-Fi based development are spending a great deal of money on their own R&D, and that's one of the things that keeps Wi-Fi continuing to advance, and I think that will definitely be applicable to smart grid applications as well. So finally, I just want to conclude by talking about what we should be thinking about as we plan for the smart grid home area network. I think we're all, to some extent, involved in the planning process here for the smart grid. Perhaps this slide is most particularly oriented at those of you in the utilities and the telecommunications vendors and companies who will be looking at actually deploying this. These are some points that I think I'd like to leave you with. One is listen to the consumer. Not all technology is loved by the consumers. I think if you've got technologies out there that have proven themselves to be something that consumers like having in their home, something that consumers use and know how to use, I think that's something that we should be listening to. Build on success. I think it's very important for this that we have technologies incorporated into the home for smart grid that have an established ecosystem of companies, of standards bodies, of certification authorities, with demonstrated interoperability. Obviously, something that is very important here. Recognize the full set of devices that will be connected. It's not just white goods in the smart grid home. There's going to be consumer electronics devices, both as energy consumers and as part of the residential customers' user interface that we will want to tie into the smart grid connected home, in addition to the things that people normally think of, like hot water heaters, etc. These devices, they are going to be connected independent of the smart energy applications. The consumer electronics devices, the internet access, all of that will be connected independent of the smart grid, but it's something that the smart grid will want to take advantage of, and something that these devices will be playing a role in energy management. And finally, just let's think towards the future. Let's not limit our thinking to low bandwidth monitoring applications that today we might think of as are the only applications for smart grid in the home. That would be short-sighted. I think getting back to Ray's general theme of this session of what lessons can be learned by as we're deploying the smart grid from the experience of the communication and computer industries, I would say that more bandwidth is always better as we move into the future. That's something that is going to be very important. So we can certainly expect that more bandwidth will be required than is typically anticipated today, and we should make sure that the technologies we're using in the home can support that.